All right, all right. Happy Monday, big waves to you. Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. All of our people. I'm feeling extra energized today. So I hope you are. I hope you are. And if you're not, I hope after this, you're a little more energized. Good to see everybody. Always good to start our day for 15 minutes of just some time with this community. But we got some birthdays over the weekend. I got to give some shout outs to. We don't always catch them. We try to, but we don't always catch them. But Mr. Jim Robine, who tunes in every day, and Diane Blue. Oh yes, Diane Blue. We know it was your birthday this weekend. So at the end of this, we gotta kick off a little singing to everybody for their. We're going to act like today's their birthday. Today is my daughter's birthday. She is 17 years old. And so I got to grace her with a good happy birthday song this morning as she woke up, and she quickly told me thank you. And that's all she needed to hear. I don't know what that said about my singing, but anyway. All right. The word for today is choice. Choice. And I got somebody else I'm going to congratulate at the end of this, so I'm going to get right into it. So choice, an act of selecting or making a decision when faced with two or more possibilities. You know, I look at choice immediately. When I looked at this definition, I thought about a fork in the road. No GPS, no mouse. You come to a fork in the road. Do you go left? Do you go right? It's a choice. If you had nothing to navigate you other than you and your decision, do you go left? There's a consequence if you go left. If you go right, there's a consequence if you go right. You know, if your destination is to the left and you choose left, you know, there's going to be a positive consequence. If the destination is left and you choose right, you might value it as a negative consequence. But at the end of the day, there are consequences to our choices. One's good, one's a little negative. I might have to turn around and retract, be a little late to where I'm going. But you know what? It's a choice, and there's a consequence tied to the choice. That's life. That's immediately what I thought about. And I come across this, and I want us to think about this morning. Our life is a result of choices. We make choices every day. You woke up this morning and made a choice to brush your teeth or not. And we're thankful you did. You made a choice. That's supposed to be a joke. So you're supposed to laugh at that. There's a choice whether you'll eat lunch today or not. There's a choice whether you'll go for a walk today or run today or exercise today or not. So we make choices literally every day, all day, throughout the day. Our life is a result of the choices we have made. If I don't like areas of my life, make a better choice. And this leads me into what I'm about to say. So follow me here. If I don't like areas of my life, then just make better choices in those areas. Individual choices might not seem to matter that much at the moment. I immediately went to my bowl of ice cream. I love ice cream. And at the moment, it might not seem like a big deal. But if I did that every day, every night before I went to bed, those choices are probably going to have a negative consequence on the bathroom scales. And so usually it's the repercussion of those decisions that have an impact on my life. Now, this is just one of them with the ice cream, but we make them all the time. We make them in our business. We don't make that call. We never make that call. We never have that list. We're always going to get around to it, but we never do it. And it's like that repercussion over time ends up being where I look back and go, why am I not succeeding here? Well, that's the reason. So I've got to make that choice to make that change to make the situation better. It's the compound effect. It's those little things over time that end up making a difference. And so I immediately thought about, because Sunday ended the 75-day hard for Miss Ashley Paulson. Now, I was going to have Ashley come on and speak, and I thought, she usually does her workout during this time. I'm like, I'm not going to burden her, but what I am going to do is acknowledge her. First of all, in the comments, give Ashley a big shout out. 75-day hard challenge. Go look it up. It's super difficult to be that consistent over 75 days, no matter the weather. She was out in frigid temperatures, like snow beating her down. She got it done. 2 exercises a day, gallon of water a day, reading every day, like following a program. No excuses, no days off. You can't do without it. And she had to travel. She had to find ways to fit it in. She accomplished it. 75 days of consistent activity. And listen, those choices led to amazing results. Me and Andrea was just talking this weekend about Ashley. Like, she was beautiful before, but you look at her now and you go, man, her skin looks so amazing. Wow. The loss that she's created in her weight, the muscle tone, like all of this stuff. For 75 days of consistent movement, she made a choice. She made a choice. And so for me, that's inspiration. And it's like, to me, the highest compliment you get is somebody that talks about you because you inspired them. And she inspired me over these 75 days, because not only did she do that, she cut out coffee, and she loves coffee, right? She cut coffee out. It was a personal choice of hers. And she did those things. And so for me and you, I think, at least pulling it back to us, how can we take this lesson of choice? Is what is it in your life right now that you're going, is it spiritual? Is it mental? Is it health? Is it your structure of your body? Like, what is it you got? Is it your business? Just start, just simply start, set a goal, and let it consistently work, and watch what happens over the course. 75 days can change your life forever. Just ask Ashley Paulson. So thanks for the inspiration, Ashley Paulson. Andrew, I'll turn it to you.
I might even talk eventually. So congratulations, Ashley. And this, like, so proud of her. It's a hard challenge, and she rocked it. Especially in that weather. Like, that's the thing that got me the most. When she talked about doing, I said, don't you want to do it when it's a little warmer? I don't know. I was trying to make it a little bit easier. I don't know, but great work, lady. So proud of you. And when you were just talking, Coach, which actually slowed me down for a second, it made me think, because we all want to make good choices. Like, I don't think anybody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what I want to do today? I want to make some bad decisions. Like, now we might say we're going to, do something crazy, but I don't think we ever decide that we want to do something that's wrong for us. I don't want to run a stop sign, or I don't know, hit a curb, or eat everything in sight, or whatever it may be. Like, I don't want to make bad choices, but we all do it periodically. It just happens. And when we take a moment to pause and think about what our choice could lead to, because I think about the inspiration. I mean, Ashley has been so great about, bringing us along with her on her journey. And I know so many people have been inspired by her. So she made this amazing choice, this decision, this commitment. And I think about all the people that have been inspired by her to maybe not do exactly what she did, but try something that they think is hard. Right? Whatever it may be. So that could be another way, because the direction that I went into was, how do we make good choices? We all want to make good choices, but how do we make good choices? And the quote that I found is, life is a matter of choices, and every choice you make makes you. That's John C. Maxwell. And we know this, but we still get all cattywampus. I don't know if that's actually a word. We get off track and we make bad choices. So how can we try to make better ones? So first of all, be aware of what's happening inside you. So we all are emotional creatures. Some of us might not tap into it to the same degree, but guess what? It's there happening inside us, all of us. Whether we think we control it better than others or not, we are all driven by our emotions. So are you stressed out? Are you worried about something? Are you fighting something else in your brain while you're trying to make a decision over here? Acknowledge that, be aware of it, and maybe decide that, you know what, I cannot make this decision right now because I'm worried about my mom over here. So I can't even think about this over here, right? Like whatever it may be. And with that, if it's at all possible, number 2 is to give yourself some time. So if this is a big choice that you have to make, like if you're running through 7-Eleven and you're deciding whether or not you're going to pick up that Twix or not, okay, maybe if you take a 2-second break, you might not pick up the Twix. Can you guys tell my favorite candy bar right there? It just came out of my mouth. But maybe we can take a quick break. But for the bigger decisions, if you can, give yourself time to process it. Step away for a moment and say, I've got to think about that. And during that time, leads us to number 3, which is to think about our goals and values. So if I make this decision, is it going to move me closer to my goal? Is this going to honor my values? Or is it going to pull me back a step from my goal? Or really be, pulling me away from my values? So if we just take that time to analyze that, and with that goes number 4, which is to weigh the pros and cons and realize that there are actually probably a lot of possibilities. If you guys are like me, I usually come up with yes or no. I give, but there's typically all this other stuff in between. So maybe we go back to that Twix and I say, okay, well, if I buy this Twix, if I decide to get this into my basket or grab it in my 7-Eleven or whatever it may be, is that going to lead me down a path of, nonstop sugar all day long? Probably not. But maybe I decide to get it and I'm going to have a little bit. I don't have that kind of self-control, but maybe you do. I don't know. But whatever it may be, weigh that there could be additional possibilities. So maybe you're doing a move, or you've got a big decision to make. Realize that maybe it's not just California to Alabama. I think about myself. I was moving to Tennessee and I ended up in Alabama. I guess I got lost a little bit, but I'm glad I'm here. But the decisions can be all across the board. So don't realize that you don't just have to stick to like yes or no, or 1 or 2. There can be A, B, C, and D options when you're making your decisions. Number 5 is to talk it out. We are so blessed. I know all of us are. We're blessed with beautiful people that think differently than us. And that is the gift of community and relationships, that when we talk to somebody, they might see things completely differently. And that can help us with our decision making. So when we're making choices, find somebody to walk through it. Part of it's going to help you think it through, but part of it is if you ask their advice, they might conflict with you, which can help you go in the right way. Number 6 is to keep a journal. And that helps us, again, think through it, take that pause, really work through it. But then it also lets us look back, right? If I have a journal and I go, you know what, 4 years ago, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to ramp up my business or go on vacation. I don't know, let's just pretend. Let me think about it. Let me go back 4 years ago in my journal and I can figure out how I made that decision. And I can look and see, well, how well did that bode me? Did I do the wrong thing or did I do the right thing, so that we can learn? And then lastly, this can be a really interesting step, is when we have a big decision to make, we have a big choice to make, plan how you would tell somebody else. So if I'm telling my folks and I'm moving across the country, that might change my decision a little bit. Or if you're planning on starting a new business, well, maybe you're going to tell your significant other that you're going to be gone a lot. And when you're thinking about it in your brain and you're mapping out how that conversation is going to go, it can help guide your decision. Not that it should be the deciding factor, but it can help guide you. So I think I went a little long. Sorry, I was chatty. Congratulations, Ashley. Happy birthday, Jim and Diane. Love you guys. And that was it.
No, that was a great one. It was an absolute, I actually went long, so I apologize. So here we go. Let's unmute. Happy birthday, Diane and Jim. We're gonna get it all for you right here.
Happy
Happy
birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Love you.
Birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to you, guys.
Diane.
Happy birthday.
Happy
To
birthday.
you and many more.
Both of you.
Love you guys. Grateful for you. Have a great day out there.